I'm drinking water from a jar. Hey guys, it's Stanley. Today's topic is a little bit more serious. I'm kind of nervous to make this video. I'm not really a commentary channel. I'm not a tea channel. But then again, I don't think this is tea. This is actually something very serious. The closest thing I would be to a commentary channel is a review channel for movies and stuff like that. There I go again with the stuff like that. Anyway, most of you probably know about the recent allegations that came out about a YouTuber, which I used to really like. You might hear some background noises because I'm kind of fidgeting because I'm nervous to commentate on this. But the YouTuber I'm going to talk about is Cryotic, also known as Cry Plays. If you're in the loop and have watched his videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. There have recently been some allegations of him dating underage girls. There was a post by his ex-girlfriend which stated some interesting facts. He basically started in a way grooming her when she was 16 and he was 22. They sort of form a relationship after he kept her around a bit, and so on and so forth. If I'm not going to go too much into the details because first of all, it's kind of a mess. There's some stuff. Also, this video isn't about that. I'm going to briefly talk about the video which he put out. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. The main issue was glossed over, which I guess one does that when they don't really want to admit to what they did. He did state that he was manic when he did this video, but I also don't like the way he addressed everything. I don't like it when people talk about themselves in a way describing themselves as protagonists in a story or something. This is real life. Real people get hurt by this, and it's not a game. It's not a TV show. It's not a story. It's not a book. It's not fiction. It's real life. There's no such thing as protagonists or villains or stuff like that. It is what it is. Did I go with the stuff like that? Okay. The video did in fact gloss over the relationships he had with underage people, or as he said, one underage girl, but from what I saw on Twitter, that's not the only case. That's not all of the things that have been going on. He did say he would come out with another video in which he would go over everything. I'm not sure what exactly he would say to make it better, or if he's even going to make excuses, or is he going to apologize? Is he going to take accountability? Because there's a high chance he has done something illegal. I did see a tweet stating that he was sexting a minor, a 16-year-old girl, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not. It's all alleged, but that's what I read. He hasn't come out with his side of the story yet. I've yet to see what he has to say about it because the video he did put out didn't really go over the actual allegations. He focused more on the part where he cheated on his girlfriend, which is not really other people's business. I mean, those things are not ours to forgive. I feel like your ex-girlfriend can forgive things like that, but the child grooming type of stuff, that's serious. I want more elaboration on that. I think we all do. I think that's obvious. I never thought that Cry of all people would do this. I guess there have been rumors I've never heard about of things like that going on. I've been a fan. I never heard those rumors. I have been a fan for a long time. I lost touch with his content for like a year or so, and this kind of struck me. It's not fun. It's really not fun finding something out like that about someone you used to watch and enjoy back in the day. Yes, I was younger, and yes, I grew out of his content, but like I always thought that he was generally a nice guy. It just sucks to find out someone you've thought was nice is actually not nice at all. From the things I found out, even if these people weren't underaged, he was still showing very emotionally abusive behavior towards them, which reminds me a lot of my personal experiences with emotional manipulation in a relationship. Let's just say it's not a fun thing to go through, and to this day on, I'm kind of coping with this. And I can't imagine the people you've affected. He's affected. He's not gonna see this. It does in fact hit close to home, and it saddens me that someone I actually used to like as a creator, and I thought was a nice person, turned out to be the type of person I actually hate the most. The type of person who doesn't seem to care about others, about people who cared about him, the type of who would excuse his behavior with his immaturity. You're not a child. You're not a child. Just because you're immature doesn't excuse any of that. And I know he's trying to apologize, but at the same time, I don't think he understands the accountability he has to take for his actions. I still feel like he sees it as like a story, like he's the protagonist in the story. I hope he does better. I don't know how. I don't know how he would be able to make this particular thing better, but you can't excuse having actual online relationships with underage people with you being immature. This is making me sick. I need more water. Yes, this is water. I am drinking water. I'm not drinking alcohol. I drink alcohol only at night. But yeah, I was a huge fan. I even did a tarot card reading for him back in 2015, I think it was, yes. I posted it on DeviantArt. If you hear me laughing, that's out of nervousness. I don't find any of this funny. This is awful. This is horrible. But yes, I did a tarot card reading, and I'm going to read it out to you. Back then, it had a whole different meaning to me, and now that I read about it, it's kind of gross. Okay, so here we go. Tarot reading for Cryotic from 2015. Dramatic reading. Cry is a person with no real insight of the bigger picture. He has a childlike blindness to the future, and that may be voluntarily. The thing that's holding him back is usually his childlike impulsiveness, which to some may appear charming, but at times it's a big problem. Despite that, he is very eager to learn and better himself as a person, and his creativity helps a lot of the times. He can be very flexible if he wants to be. At his core, Cry's nature is feminine, strong, very active, creative, and passionate. He may have lost a part of his intuitive side from when he was younger, One thing he did keep in his innocence. The one thing he wants to maintain. The near future shows that in his quest to better himself, he'd probably not manage it as well as he'd hope, and in the process he might find a reason to feel guilt for a loved one. Probably a family member. I personally see him feeling guilt over it, and despite this person being kind of ticked off about whatever would happen, he or she would rather forgive and forget. This person loves Cry too much to let a thing like that cross them. In the future, Cry's videos will get increasingly creative, reaching a peak at that aspect, but also passion and activity will probably be too overwhelming. At some point, his content might get too much. A good side of that is that he will probably post more. Cry fears that at some point his destructive nature might kick in. He's afraid of losing control and making a mess of things. A big fear of his is overdoing it. That's probably happened before and things probably didn't end so well, so he doesn't want to happen again. On the other hand, he is surrounded by a lot of intelligent people, most of them are free spirits, and he wishes he could be more like them. He looks up to those people. It would be good to take inspiration from them. So that leads to Cry's wish to be freer. And not free of, but free to. Free to express himself the way he wants to. I feel that he may not put a lot of thought into it, but it annoys him to an extent that people have this idea of him, yet they don't really know him. He thinks it's stupid to idolize someone like that. And in the end, he'd still keep that childlike innocence and sort of charming immaturity. He'd still post videos with a lot of love and passion, but things will not always go like he would want them to. Sometimes he'd disappoint and sometimes he'd be praised. My advice is that if things don't go the way they were initially supposed to, he should just go with the flow and see what his new outcome will bring him. Well, I think that's a good advice for probably creativity and such. But for the particular situation he is in right now, I don't know what going with the flow would accomplish for him. He did go with the flow with his last video, and that didn't go well. There's some stuff that I think have been due to me knowing some. I don't know a lot. I didn't used to know a lot about Cry. I just watched his videos. Back in the day, I think probably the part where this loved one who he ticked off was probably about his girlfriend, and she probably did try to forgive him once, because I think she wrote that in her notes, that she tried to be friends with him, but that didn't really work out. She tried to be friends with him when she was 24, and now she's 25 years old. This girl is as old as me. That's sad. That's really sad. She has to live with having been in a situation like that. I think this reading, I misread it the first, I think it's pretty accurate to what has happened, but I also think I interpreted it very differently back in the day, and it has a very, very negative outcome now. And it's true, sometimes he'd disappoint and sometimes he'd be praised. Like, there's still fans who excuse his actions, and there are a lot of people who are now disappointed in him, including myself. This reading was just for fun. I think it was interesting to look back on it and to see if I've actually predicted the things that have happened. And kind of, I mean, it's a difficult thing to predict. I never would have thought this would what some of the stuff would mean. I'm very disappointed. I'm feeling very sad. I don't like this situation. He was someone I used to look up to even. I'll leave a link to the tarot reading in the description below. I'm not... It's just sad. It's a sad time. 2020, I know there's a lot of awful stuff happening during 2020, but like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's just weird. It's awful. I don't know how long this video is now. I probably won't use the entire speed paint or whatever I've put in the background playing. I also hope that if you were ever a fan of Cryz and you feel very disappointed, you can find solace in the fact that so are the rest of us. I'm very sad about this. I thought he would be better, that he would know better, that he'd be smarter. He usually came across as smart, but people who like taking advantage of other people do tend to come across as very smart. I think this video has gone long enough. I don't know if my statement or my thoughts on the situation adds to the whole thing, but yeah. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video, and it will be something more cheerful, hopefully. Maybe I'll do a review of something, maybe I'll do a tutorial, who knows. We'll see, okay? Bye.